everybody, back here on week number 10. Muskogee Rougher football. Bill Huddleston along with the coach of the Roughers, Rafe Watkins. Well, it was a rainy night in Muskogee last Friday night, Coach. And
that was to say the least.
The rain was during the game, and then there was rain in the locker room afterwards. What a gallant effort by the Roughers in the ball game against Bixby.
Well, we did. I was very proud of the young men, as proud as I've been in the 2 years I've been here. Gave everything they had out on the field playing against the defending state champions, and while they're not quite the team they were last year, they're still a very good ball club. Was, number 1 or 2 most of the year. Just come out and played hard the whole night. Like I said, as rainy and stuff as it was able to throw the ball incredibly well. Had a couple of turnovers. They also had a couple of fumbles and stuff on the night, but for the most part, pretty clean played game for the weather conditions. Just a gut wrencher due to the fact that we're down 13 with 5 minutes to go, and everything you've preached about to these kids all year long about staying focused, play hard, play to the final whistle blows, and they did that. And we scored with 5 seconds left and had, I think, 2 or 3 fourth down plays on that drive, and the defense went out after we'd scored to get the 3 and out and get us the ball back, and just an incredible drive and score with 5 seconds only to have them. And as I told the kids, the good thing that you can look at is that we made them beat us. We didn't beat ourselves on that. It was a good snap. It was a good hold. It was a good kick. Their 6'4" receiver, who's an incredible athlete, went up and got a piece of the ball and blocked it. We still have a chance, and then we get in overtime and can't get it done. And just a terrible feeling, because there's no doubt in my mind Sand Springs will beat Bixby this week after playing the 2. I'd be absolutely shocked if they don't. And that would have put us in the playoffs. And that's the thing that we were shooting for from the whole year. It doesn't matter how many games we won or anything else. We wanted the playoffs, however we could get there. And unfortunately for this group of seniors and this whole group and the staff, it was a tough night.
Indeed, it was a tough night, but there were a lot of precious memories, and on Hall of Fame night, to have that type of effort by a group of seniors and a couple of players specifically, that we're going to see some of their efforts here in our video highlights. Coach Watkins and the entire coaching staff, as well as the Rougher Nation, should be extremely proud of the continued improvements of this year's football team and the football program overall. Let's roll our videotape and take a look at some of the highlights from last week's ball game against Bixby. Coach, here's a young man that finally is healthy, and he's doing what you saw he could do.
Well, it's what we had expected this whole time, but as last year he had the ankles, he's had the hamstring troubles, he's had hips, quad, and as you can see, when he's healthy, he is almost impossible to stop. He's thrown the ball extremely well all year. That's, it's passes that as good as anybody in the state makes. Then his feet, he has 127 yards rushing the other night, and just kept us in the game the whole time. And just some of the passes he makes here, 3 for 4 touchdowns.
Pass right there.
It's as good as you could want it, and you'll see some others here in a minute. Had Tavian Davis on this run right here shows that he's healthy. I mean, this is what we'd expected from him the whole time, and I'm so proud of Q, and he's been a great leader for us. Just did a remarkable job.
Scrambling ability. I mean, he just would run away from the Bixby defenders, and when he was under pressure, last we saw there, Tavian came back. And here's one of the plays that's going to get cut off. But Coach, what an effort by the Rougher defense.
Well, this was huge. This was our only score up to the final 5 minutes in the game. That was by our defense. They stripped right there. Tavian did, and then Cameron got it in midair and took it back to the house. This is a great effort. This is where we were able to come back. We were 13 down. He finds Tavian. Tavian makes a juggling catch here, and then it outruns the rest of them.
And what I like is watch the hand on the back. Come on, little fella. Let me take you to the house. This is a junior leading a senior to the end zone.
And it was nice not to see anybody trying to block downfield.
No raised arms, no blocks in the back.
Here's the final drive, and this is, I think, the 4th down play here was 4th and 5, and he scrambles and keeps us alive. At this point, I think people starting to realize that we were going to score here. It was just a matter of making our extra point.
Well, again, another good pass.
There's a sophomore to Braylon Duncan. And, we just, again, seeing these young kids, and then this bullet here, and, Jamari, great catch, and then they make their great play and go into overtime, and we just can't get it finished. And it was a tough night. It
was a tough ending to a very emotion-packed football game at Muskogee Creek Nation Field as the Roughers drop a 48-41 decision to the Bixby Spartans. We come back, though, a guy that's going to he's going to open your eyes because of the neon green, but a guy that has certainly opened the eyes of the Rougher defensive coaches. We call him Crazy Legs. Devan McCoy will join us for a player's visit. That with Coach Watkins and I. When we come back after this timeout, you're watching RougherTV. Welcome back here on TV 15. Bill Holst along with the coach, the Roughers, Rafe Watkins. And Coach, between us is a guy that I know has taken a lot of kidding from coaches. He's taking a lot of instruction from coaches. Introduce Crazy Legs for us.
Well, we got Devan McCoy, and as you said, we call him Crazy Legs. Coach Heath gave him that nickname last year when we got here, and Devan has had a pretty tough year. Rough year last year. It seemed like people wanted to pick on him, go toward him, and throw the fade over in his. And it goes to show what hard work will do for you, because this year, not going to his side very much. He's got a couple interceptions, had a big one up there to Wasso. If you remember that, sets us back up at midfield, and we go down and score, I think, 2 plays later, and has just had an outstanding season. And what I'm really proud of him about is his tackling ability. Was not a real good tackler last year, to be honest, and he'll tell you that. This year, he's come up and made a great tackle the other night on the big boy. He has learned how to get it body in good position, and the good thing about Devan is that he's always going to be there. He's countable, and he's always got a smile on his face, and you can't get him down. And he is a dancing fool.
Well, Devan, talk to me a little bit about your own self-evaluation of where you were as a football player this time last year to where you are this year going into week number 10.
Well, I feel like last year my head was down, like my motivation wasn't really there, my heart wasn't really in it. But this year as a senior, I figured I came out, I chose to do this, so I'm gonna just put my whole self into it. I'm gonna work hard at it, and no matter all the adversity, I'm gonna still keep trying no matter what.
Now, Coach mentioned Coach Heath's tag to you, Crazy Legs.
Yeah.
When I watch you run, those legs go in all different directions, but you go down the field with some speed, man.
Yeah, like he actually gave me that name when I was a freshman on his track team, because like he said, like you run like a Giselle or something like that. So I was like, well, I'm pretty fast though. So
exactly. Now talk to me about this dancing move. I mean, Coach says you're a dancing fool. You got a favorite move you like?
I don't really got a favorite move. I just love dance. Like that's something I've always done. But I mean, I guess that's why they call me Crazy Legs.
I guess that's exactly true. Now this is going to be your final game.
Yeah.
Friday night as a Rougher at Muskogee Creek Nation Field, Indian Bowl, against Tulsa, Washington. Have you thought about that since last Friday, going ahead, looking into this Friday night's ball game, what it's going to be for you and your senior classmates to put on the green and white, walk out there on the turf at Indian Bowl for the final time?
I mean, I just want my team, especially the seniors, to know that this is our championship game, and like they may be number one, but to me, they bleed just how we bleed. They will fail just like how we fail. They all make mistakes. So I feel like that'll be our legacy, is to beat the number one team in the state right now.
Obviously, Coach, you can't ask much more from a young man like Devan McCoy and this group of seniors, and there will be 26 kids in uniform on Friday night. And I know as a head coach, every time you shake hands with one of those seniors, a lot of memories go through your mind as well as through theirs.
It does, and just in 2 years, you build such a good rapport with these young men, because again, it's a great class, and it's not too often that you have 26 seniors on a team, but they've stuck with it through the whole thing, through the thick and thin, and just couldn't be more proud of a group of young men.
Well, here's one shining example of the continued improvement, development of the Rougher football program turnaround. Devan McCoy, Crazy Legs. Hopefully we see some of those Crazy Legs on Friday night, maybe with another pick, take it to the house, pick 6.
Count on it.
Count on it. All right, very good. Devan McCoy, our guest with Coach Watkins and I, will sneak peek at this week's Week 10 opponent, the number 1 ranked Hornets of Tulsa, Washington. We continue here on TV 15. Back here on TV 15 for a final time, Coach, here in the 2015 season. You and I get together, talk about high school football. Let's first of all talk about the week number 10 matchup. And if you're going to end your season in the regular season, why not play the #1 team in the state?
Well, that's what we have. Booker T. Washington Hornets, they're a tradition-rich program. Everybody knows about Booker T, and they've been #1 all season long. They're going, they're 8-0 right now. They was one of the teams that didn't get that Week 3 game in because of the lightning, so they're 8-0 right now. Went to the semifinals last year. Coach Danzer and his group, they do a good job of coaching them over there. And, of course, Booker T's never been void of talent. They have the Hill kid at tailback who's already committed to OSU. And then there's some familiar names that's over there that's old Booker T names, one being the McQuarters kid.
Right.
He's just a sophomore, number 5 for him, plays corner, and is going to be an outstanding player, punt returner, kick returner for him. They have a Humphreys that I'm sure is Ryan Humphrey's son, right, or some kin to him. So some of the names that you've heard down through the years over at Booker T, they're coming through again, and they're outstanding athletes and very well coached football team.
Well, just like Devin said a moment ago, this is the championship game for the 2015 class of seniors and this year's football program. And when you play for a championship, there's only going to be one winner, and there's only one team that can walk off the victor. And what a chance for Muskogee to do something that nobody else all year long has done.
Well, that's what we looked at it as a coaching staff with the kids yesterday when we was going over our scouting report. I just told them, this is our playoff, this is our state championship. It is what it is. We can't go any further. But what a way to end it, and saying that we, beat the eventual possible state champion. And that's all we can look at doing, and that's where we're sitting due to some circumstances. And so we got to hit that head on. If it's any indication of yesterday's practice, the kids are heading in that direction. And we had some fun yesterday at practice. We're going to continue to learn today and tomorrow on Thursday. And I promise you, these kids aren't going to lay down to them. They're going to go give them their best shot. We've got a few injuries right now that happened in the game the other night. It was a very physical game, and the young men that we put in their positions, I know, are looking forward to the challenge. And as you said, 26 wonderful seniors that we've got, very partial to all of them, and they're a great group of young men going to go on to be good people, and very proud of them.
Well, we'll get it one more chance for you to join Coach Watkins and myself and the entire Rougher Football Nation Friday night, 7 o'clock, Muskogee Creek Nation Field. It will be senior night. Get out there early to join in the senior festivities and be a part of the football fever as the Muskogee Roughers play for the final time in 2015 against the Tulsa Washington Hornets. And if you can't for some reason be there, and I really don't know what reason that might be. If you can't for some reason, don't forget you can always follow the action online. You can join us at RougherTV. Coach, it's been a pleasure this year. Been a lot of fun. We've had our roller coaster moments and a lot of what ifs, but hey, there's another day.
Well, there is, and as you said, I hope everybody gets to come out. Last week we know it was a wonderful game. I understand with the rain and everything and keeping people away and being able to watch it online. But if you get a chance, come out and support these kids this week. They really deserve it. They have, while the record doesn't show it, anybody that's been paying close attention to it and following them knows that they have improved a great deal over the year. And as coaches, we know how much they've improved and very proud of them. But, as we said, the record is what everybody looks at. But this is a good group of young men that needs to have a lot of support on this final game.
Well, we'll look forward to seeing everybody Friday night, 7 o'clock, when the Roughers take on the Hornets of Tulsa, Washington at Muskogee Creek Nation Field. For head coach Rafe Watkins, I'm Bill Huddleston for the entire Rougher Football Nation. So long, everybody, and remember, it's always a great day to be a Rougher.